Tonight they'll face San Francisco's best, and Madison Bumgarner is the Giants' ace, tries to tie for the Major League lead in wins and pitch the Orange and Black to a win over Kansas City. Game 1 of the series next.
The road trip continues tonight. We're in Kansas City as we come to you from beautiful Kauffman Stadium. This is Game 1 of a weekend series, Giants and Royals. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, a loss yesterday, and the Giants are now 4-3 on this trip. They know that this Kansas City Royals team is playing terrific baseball right now. A win in Game 1 would be important, and they got the right guy on the mound.
Well, they do, and Madison Bumgarner is going to bring his 9-2 record on the road with an ERA of under 2 into this game. Now, the Giants have done pretty well in interleague play. They're 7-5 on the year. The Royals have done better. They're 11-4. However, if you look at what the Royals have done, very similar type record that the Giants have. They've not been very good at home. They've been great on the road. So I guess the Giants have a slight advantage.
Well, if you go by those numbers, indeed they do. But with Bumgarner, they usually do. However, Jason Vargas, pretty good. He's 8-5. Bumgarner on the hill for the Giants. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update. And we'll do all of that right after this.
area is brought to you by Jack. On Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
You're looking outside of Kauffman Stadium as we get ready for Giants baseball. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 79 degrees here in Kansas City. Winds are calm. Humidity right around 50%. It is overcast, but very nice. All right, let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup. Minus Brandon Belt, it'll be Pagan, Hunter Pence. You can see where he ranks this season in hits in multi-hit games and runs scored. Followed by Posey, Sandoval, and Morris. Arias gets a start, followed by Duffy, Perez, and then Crawford. And the DH is Sandoval.
On the hill tonight for the Kansas City Royals will be the left-hander Jason Vargas. Vargas, 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. He's 31 years of age. He's in his 7th year at the big league level. And this is what he has done in 20 starts. 8-5 with a 3.69 ERA. 87 strikeouts against 29 walks. He's a finesse lefty. You'll see mid to high 80s with the fastball velocity. He will too, enforcing that fastball. He's got a good curveball and a good changeup. And he will throw anything at any time. And he, very much like Kirk Reeder used to be, he's a guy that has to be very fine with his command. Bigger the corners on the strike zone, the better off Vargas is.
So now we're ready. Is Pagan stands in. And the first pitch of the ball game to Pagan is a called strike. So we get started right on time at 7:10. Pagan came back yesterday and went 2 for 4. Here he takes another strike. He's 3 for 6 lifetime against Vargas. Hunter Pence on deck. And this is tapped foul at the plate.
Let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals defense starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Gordon, Kane, and Aoki, Escobar and Moustakas on the left side, and Infante and Butler on the right side. And Salvador Perez will be in the squad putting down the signs.
And the 0-2 to Pagan, and Pagan pops this one straight back and out of play. If you talk to the Royals about how this field plays, it plays big. It's not a park where you're going to hit a lot of home runs. It's 387 to the alleys. No balls and 2 strikes. Mike walked the infield. You said it looked pretty quick.
You know, it's Bermuda grass and it's really thick. I don't think it's going to be that quick. It looks faster until you get on it. And same thing with the outfield gaps. I don't think they're as fast as what you're used to seeing in this ballpark.
Kerwin Danley called that pitch a ball, where there are some Royals people that thought it was a strike, including Vargas. And it's 2-2.
I do believe this is going to be an infield that's faster than what the Giants see at AT&T.
And Pagan fouls it back. Rippiger, Barksdale, and Cedarstrom are your umpires from first to third. And again, Kerwin Danley behind the dish.
And Danley can be a narrow zone. He will give knees. He will give belts. The thing about Danley is what you get in the first usually get it through all night. It doesn't bounce around a whole lot. If he gives any corner, it's usually on the first base side of the strike zone.
And Pagan strikes out on a pitch out of the strike zone, and that's how this game gets started. Yeah, Morris and Pence. Have to rack going a little bit. Nobody else seems to care. Everybody ignoring him, including Tim Flannery. All right, let's go.
We're good.
That's called the two-man dance.
That is the
Montefusco Alexander dance.
Oh,
here's Pence. Pence takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Every time I think about that, when the count, John Montefusco threw his no-hitter. Celebration on the field was basically a two-man celebration. He and his catcher Gary Alexander.
That was a road game, so not a whole lot going on. Pence way out in front. It's now 0-2. Pence on the trip is 10 for 31. He's never faced Vargas before, at least not during the regular season. Buster Posey's on deck. We just got started here in Kansas City, the third leg of this three-city road trip. Pence fouls it back. Last time we saw the Giants and any of their players on this field was the All-Star game a couple of years ago when Matt Cain started the game. Got him.
Good changeup. Well, you see, we take a look at our Nissan keys to the game. And number one, Bumgarner, stay hot, road hot, 9-2 and 1.58 ERA on the road this year. And they have a flat mound, and he likes them flat. Number two, the bottom four, that's right. Joaquin Arias, Matt Duffy, Juan Perez, Brandon Crawford. They need to make a difference in this ball game. And those are our Nissan keys to the game.
Here is Buster Posey. Buster Posey in that All-Star game, he started behind the plate. Remember, Sandoval started. Melky Cabrera was the MVP of that All-Star game. And right now Vargas is just throwing strikes. That's all he's doing.
Well, and it's the first time the Giants are seeing that curveball, and it's one you have to stay with. You cannot give up on it early. It starts out wide, really works its way back into the strike zone. You have to stay with it.
Posey has hit a home run off of Vargas. He's 1 for 4 lifetime. And he's had a good trip. He's hitting .375 on the trip. He's 9 for 24. He's also walked 4 times. Here he tries to stay back. And he fouls it back. It stays at 1-2.
When you think about all the flames that the Giants had to hit off of in the Milwaukee series, now you face a guy like Jason Vargas, who's just the opposite end. He's way below the normal hit speed. Throws you off.
And Posey drives it into left field for a base hit.
The one fastball he got, they tried to come inside with it with cut action. He left it out over the plate a little bit. Bang. Might be the last fastball he sees tonight. Right at the belt. I mean, it's where you want to throw the pitch when you haven't thrown one yet, and you set that fastball up with off-speed stuff.
Here's Sandoval. He's having a good trip. Sandoval 10 for 28, couple of home runs. He's got 10 RBIs on this trip. In that All-Star game, remember, he tripled off of Justin Verlander. And he'll take down low. He's 2 for 6 lifetime against Vargas. Sandoval now hitting .283. Remember, he had a horrible April. And so bad that people started to worry about him.
He was worried about it.
Yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sandoval did hit a home run in Milwaukee right-handed, but his splits are quite different. He's hitting .191 right-handed and .325 left-handed. takes a strike. It's 1-2.
Right now, Vargas is throwing darts. When he misses out of the strike zone, it's not by a whole lot. Staying on the corners with everything, so he's got a feel of all of his pitches early on.
Overshift is on for Sandoval. And he bounces this one, but it's going to be Infante who kicks it. Infante going to his left, couldn't hang on to it. And Michael Morris is going to hit with 2 outs and runners all over the place.
Well, you can see where Infante was playing behind the pitcher. I mean, he's on the shortstop side of second base. Still, I mean, this is a pretty average play by big league standards, and Infante, a very sure-handed infielder. That is a rare error, folks. If he has errors, it's usually with his arm, not his glove. So the Giants, an opportunity to take advantage of an extra out in this inning.
Here's Morris. And Morris takes a strike. He's hitting .273.
He does not look too enthusiastic with that first call curveball strike by Danley.
He does have a home run against Vargas. He's 2 for 10 against Jason Vargas. Runs that pitch in tight. Posey at second. Sandoval at first. And this is hit out to left, and coming in and diving is Gordon, and he'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. Giants strand a pair. Bumgarner coming out. Lineup. It'll be Nori Aoki to lead things off, followed by Infante and then Perez. Billy Butler, and Billy Butler, it looks like he really enjoyed Chase Field in Arizona, followed by Gordon Kane and then Kratz. Moustakas is going to hit in the A spot, and Escobar will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Madison Bumgarner, the 25-year-old lefty, making his 25th start of the game. Two-time All-Star, has gone 13-8 with a 3.21 ERA. On the road, he has been unbelievable, 9-2 with a 1.58 ERA. And he has not allowed a run in his last 17 innings of work on the road. 153 strikeouts against 37 walks. That's a tremendous strikeout walk ratio. And when you face him, you're going to see a low three-quarter release. It's going to have a natural cut velocity. Will be between 91 and 94 miles per hour. He also has a slider that at times will have a mind of its own. It will run flat at times, and at times it'll have tilt to it. Throws a curveball and a changeup. Let's take a look at the Giants defense playing behind Bumgarner tonight. Starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Perez, Pagan, and Pence, the killer P's. Crawford Arias on the left side with Sandoval getting a night off of defensive work. He's the DH. Duffy and Morse on the right side, and Buster Posey will be in the squad putting down the signs.
So here's Nori Aoki to lead things off. His numbers is actually hitting higher against lefties than righties. So Bumgarner facing Aoki with Arias down the line at third, and the first pitch is a called strike.
Aoki, like a lot of hitters out of the Japanese leagues, he'll load up that back leg, completely take his front foot off the ground as he's getting gathered, and then he holds it there. And it's just a very little cheat to keep your weight back on your back leg before you start your swing.
And the 0-2 pitch is a bit wide. Infante and then Salvador Perez. First three hitters to face Bumgarner, who's never faced the Royals before. And he fouls it back as that pitch was up.
And Aoki's a good up. He's a high hitter. I mean, he likes that ball up. Against lefties, you'll see him throw a lot of balls to left field as well. Might remember Aoki last year played with the Brewers.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be a guy that was going to be in Milwaukee for a long time. Out of play. One and two. And a breaking ball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bumgarner, 25th start. Arias now relaxes at third as Aoki gets tired of waiting and steps out. Royals have won 4 straight. Mike mentioned it in the open. 27 and 27 at home, very much like the Giants. And that's down the left field line for Perez, who bumps up against the wall, and Aoki's retired.
Wow, nice play. I mean, he was pretty casual about taking on the wall. Ball was slicing away from him.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to slow down. He never did.
Just kind of took it right into the wall. Not a problem. Well, when you're built like a wall, you're definitely built to absorb a little damage.
We would not have bounced back from that.
No.
Here's Infante, who's 2 for 6 lifetime against Bumgarner, and he takes a strike.
Infante leads the Royals in RBIs. He's having a good season for him. It's a guy like Martin Prado, Mark Ellis. Just a good situational hitter. Has great bat hit control.
I think they're the same guy.
I think so. Never seen him in the same room at the same time.
Just off the plate. Royals have done very well against the National League. In Interleague, they're 11 and 4. And they're creeping up on the Tigers. And that pitch is high. It's 3-1. Bumgarner looking into Kerwin Danley. He definitely has a way of letting the umpire know that he's not very happy.
That's the one he thought he should have had.
And I think that's high.
And Danley is more of a low ball umpire.
And this is driven down the left field line. That's going to be a fair ball. And it'll be a 1-out double for Omar Infante.
All right, time now for our AT&T U-verse Rewind. Sunday against the Mets, the Giants, Madison Bumgarner had a second career shutout, fourth career complete game. 2 hits allowed. He walked 1, 10 strikeouts, and he only threw 94 pitches. And that is our AT&T U-verse Rewind.
So here's Salvatore Perez. Perez at 273. He's got a couple of make that 13 home runs. 46 driven in.
Fewest pitches in a shutout since Billy Swift. He had an 85 pitch complete game back in 1993 in which he threw a shutout.
And Perez bounces this one foul.
Salvador Perez has been killing interleague pitching this year. He's hit 356 against the National League. Perez is the Kansas City Royals' Buster Posey, and they love this guy here.
And he takes this pitch in tight. One ball and 1 strike. With Billy Butler to follow. And that's foul. Not by much.
Gary Cedarstrom, the third base umpire tonight, right there. You know, it's still funny to see an umpire with glasses on.
Well, yeah, for the longest time you wouldn't see it.
Never.
I mean, wasn't that the first line anybody ever used when yelling at an umpire? Put your glasses on?
It's absolutely why they never wore them.
So it's 1-2 to Salvador Perez. And it's high, 2-2.
Giants play Perez straight up in the outfield and pretty much straight up in the infield.
Good take by Perez. It's now 3-2. Bumgarner does have a base to play with. Infante with the double. Duffy trying to keep him close to keep Infante from having any thoughts. I'm shaking off Buster Posey. Now he's ready. Has got it. That was a bullet.
Well, if they don't have him played the way that they set him up close to the line at third base, he has no chance, because that was a bullet. Salvador Perez not fooled. 3-2. He takes that cut fastball and just rakes it, and you can see how close to the line Arias was, just about a stride. And boy, you talk about playing him perfectly. He barely got his glove up.
So here's Billy Butler. And Butler takes a curveball down low. He called that a strike?
Yes, he did.
Oh, my goodness. That's the worst pitch I've seen this year. It is.
Well, think back about the first pitch strike, too.
That's the worst I've ever seen.
That's bad. What are you talking about? It's right down the middle. Remember the one he called strike one on Mike
Michael Morse in the last inning. I mean, it wasn't that far from that one.
Well, I just assumed it was a ball, and I saw Billy Butler's reaction.
Well, he just flat out missed it. And if you're a hitter, I guess you just have to say, I'm glad he missed it on a first strike and not a third strike. If you're Madison Bumgarner, you got to throw it again.
Yeah, and then argue if you don't get it, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you've established it.
Now, Bumgarner's realizing there's nothing at the belt. So all the strikes are at the knees or 10 inches below the knees.
Third pitch of the inning, and it's 2-2.
This little cut fastball at 93 above the belt.
Infante at second base. Well to left, and it's going to go. Gone. And it's 2-0 Kansas City. And that's home run number 7 for Butler.
Well, you mentioned that he had a great series in Arizona. He's been red hot. And they threw the second strike by him with a fastball, and they came back with the same pitch, same location. And he says, not a second time, and he knew it right out of bed. And that was over the Royals bullpen. That was a big boy. This is not an easy ballpark to hit home runs, but there's no ballpark going to keep this one in it. That was a bomb.
So here's Gordon. Gordon takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes.
Tuesday night, Arizona recorded his 1,000th hit.
Well, Bumgarner will struggle sometimes in the first inning.
Well, right now he's up, and a flat mound will do that to you. He said he likes a flatter mound, and this is what he has tonight. But when you're out there and you're adjusting to a mound that's flatter than most, early on you're going to be up, and that's where he has been.
So 28 pitches. And this is a swing and a miss, blocked by Posey. This will end the inning. If it makes you feel any better, Milwaukee's leading LA 2-0 in the first inning. So.
Yeah, it does. Feel a little better.
So it was Billy Butler on a 2-2 pitch, and he hits it out. It's 2-0 Kansas City.
Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by When the Game Stands Tall, in theaters August 22nd.
A Billy Butler home run, 2-0 Kansas City. And it'll be Arias, Duffy, Perez, and Crawford here in the second. And Arias takes a strike.
Well, and if you're Jason Vargas, I mean, here you are in August, you're looking in, and there's 3 guys in a row with batting averages in the 100s.
Look out.
Well, you don't see it very often. But, you know, you don't trust it when you're pitching against it. These guys are big leaguers.
That is the fact.
They had to be pretty good to get here. But it absolutely is one of the keys to the game. If the bottom part of this Giants lineup tonight can do something offensively and set it up for the top of the lineup, that would be a good thing.
Arias 2 for 4 lifetime against Vargas, and he takes wide, so it's 3-1. And Arias drives one to left. Gordon back. He's looking up, and it's off the bottom of the wall. And Arias into second base with a double.
And that's what we're talking about right there. Well, Friday, August 15th is Filipino Heritage Night presented by AT&T. Your special event package will include access to the Filipino Heritage Night pregame party, a pair of limited edition Filipino Giants texting gloves, and a game ticket to see the Giants take on the Phils. Reminder, you want that Filipino Heritage Night texting glove? You need to purchase the special event ticket. Go to sfgiants.com/special events. Oh,
here's
yeah.
Duffy.
Royals are going to respect a possible bunt situation here.
And Duffy takes a strike.
Duffy had an in-streak 48 hours.
Yeah, you got on a plane to come here to go somewhere else.
Last night he went out to dinner. He says, "My last night in the big leagues, I'm going to have steak and lobster," and he did. Gets the ballpark today, and they said, "Oh, by the way, you're activated, pal. You're in the lineup."
And he shoots one in the hole for a base hit. So far your guys are 2 for 2.
I'm liking it. What got Duffy activated, because he was ticketed to go back to Double-A baseball, was that Brandon Belt went on the 7-day disabled list for recurring headaches, and he's back on the concussion disabled list.
Here's Perez. Perez hitting .167 with a home run and 2 RBIs. And he takes low and in, 1-0.
They're not giving Juan Perez a lot of respect in the outfield. They're playing shallow across the board.
Nor did they Arias. And that pitch high, so it's 2-0. Crawford to follow. And this is slammed to left and touchdown. That's what we got from the umpire. Foul.
Tim Flannery's going to go out and question Cedarstrom, and he's going to say, "Are you signaling touchdown, or what are you signaling?" And Bruce Bochy may want to have a look.
I mean, do you not make a move towards foul or fair?
I've never seen this. And I can't tell from that angle.
Well, Kerwin Danley's walking down the line. It's foul.
It's foul ball. And that one shows it.
Now, Mike, if you see an umpire do that, maybe he's not sure. This replay review is presented by Xfinity. It's going to be called foul.
Well, this is the shot that tells you that it was on the foul side of the foul pole. No, that's foul. That's not going to change. I mean, he crushed that ball. Close.
Oh, it hit it. You see it hit the foul pole? No, just kidding.
We wish.
Well, now Gary Cedarstrom mentions that it's foul. And it ends up being a strike. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
How often do you see a guy hit a ball out of the ballpark foul like that and then hit a home run the same way?
It happens all the time. More so than not, that's what happens. It's 2-2.
Well, he comes back with a changeup, and that was a good one. Absolutely perfect location.
I mean, if you're Perez, you can't leave it up to the guy behind you, no matter who it is. Put the ball in play.
Got him. So he comes back and strikes him out, and that turns out to be an extremely frustrating at bat for Juan Perez.
It's pretty predictable what he was going to get, right?
Yeah, and let's watch the finish. Little breaking ball down below the strike zone, and he goes chase it. So now Brandon Crawford going to try and pick him up.
Crawford hitting .232, 8 home runs, 46 runs batted in.
He's not had a good road trip.
And he falls behind 0-1. 5 for 25 on the trip. An opportunity now to get the Giants on the board.
Well, I'm assuming he was not trying to take a pitch and he wasn't just showing that. I'm assuming that he really had an idea that he might bump one down, and I do not like that play. The only reason you do that if you're not seeing the pitcher at all.
2 balls and a strike. The runner at first is Duffy. Arias doubled, Duffy singled. Perez missed a home run by a foot, and then he struck out. And a snap throw to third, and Arias just got back, and Cedarstrom went down. He's all right.
He's okay. We're good. I'm good. We're good. All right, let's take a look at the snap throw. Salvador Perez has a cannon, and he likes to show it off. And Yep.
Sorry. The All-Star game in Seattle was better.
That was a good one.
With Tommy Lasorda.
Best ever.
By the way, if you're wondering, Bruce Bochy still has his challenge. The home runs are reviewed no matter what if requested. It's 2-2 to Crawford. And a full count. Crawford has walked more than anybody on this Giants team. But right now, I'm sure he's not looking for a walk. He wants to knock this run in. He's going to get a breaking ball. And he got him.
Change up.
That fastball in prior to this pitch set up this one.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, he's got such similar arm action with the changeup to that of the fastball. Very deceptive. And when you're seeing it for the first time, I mean, it's advantage Vargas. So now it's up to Pagan to pick up Perez and Crawford.
Pagan struck out in the first inning. That opened up the ball game. And he takes a pitch low. 1-0.
If you think about Duffy base stealing, I mean, he had 25 steals last year between Augusta and San Jose. So it is definitely within his skill set to steal a base. That changeup has really been a go-to pitch for him. He's thrown it a lot when he's had fastball counts. And as we saw against Crawford, he's not afraid to throw that pitch in a 3-2 count.
Pagan fouls it back. It's now 1-2.
And again, the changeup. What do you think? Should I throw another changeup? Yeah, throw a changeup.
Yep, it's working.
But when you have a changeup firmly planted in the brain of a hitter, it sets up everything. High fastball above the zone, back foot slider, fastball in the hands. That's why it's such a great pitch.
A little looper right at the center fielder Kane. And the Giants waste a golden opportunity here in the second. It remains 2-0 Kansas City.
Angel Pagano coming back for the last 2 months of the season. He said the good thing is we're still in the fight. This is the time for us to get on a roll and finish strong. And that is our Geico quote of the game.
It's a 2-0 lead for the The Royals on the Billy Butler home run in the first inning. And now for Bumgarner, he'll be facing Kane, Kratz, and Moustakas.
Kane's hot. He's 10 for his last 22.
And the first pitch is a called strike. Kane having a good season at .305, 3 home runs, 38 driven in. And he skies this one out into right center field, and Pagan moving over, and he'll make the catch.
All right, time now for our Ford right choice. Angel Pagan yesterday in Milwaukee, first game back after missing 44 games. He goes 2 for 5. That's base hit. Started things off in the first inning. Then in the 8th inning, he made a great catch. Takes it all the way to the wall and takes it away. And that's our Ford right choice, Angel Pagan.
Here's Kratz and a called strike. You may remember Eric Kratz with the Phillies a couple of years back. And now it's 0-2. He's has faced Bumgarner 3 times in his career. He's 1 for 3.
Bumgarner starting to get that feel of the lower part of the strike zone.
And a bit wide, not by much.
It's a great 0-2 pitch right there.
Got him. 2 outs for Moustakas. Moustakas hitting just a shade under 200, but his other numbers are pretty impressive. He's got 14 home runs, 46 driven in. He also enjoyed Chase Field in Arizona. Who wouldn't if you're a hitter? And he shortens up to bunt. It gets the attention of Arias, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
That's kind of a surprise. Guy that's got double-digit home run power up there with 2 outs trying to bunt. I guess when every team plays you with a shift and they overload one side of the infield, you get a little tired of it after a while. You think about it. And there's the shift, the wishbone defense.
Arias, with instructions from the dugout, moves back. It's now 1-2.
And that's, I'm sure, what the Royals fans want to see from Moustakas. They want to see him wheel and fire. Try and hit one over the Budweiser sign.
Arias is going to give chase, but it's going to be a souvenir right in the Giants section. That's part of our group.
Giants vacations, large group today. Going to be entertained tomorrow at lunch by Dave Fleming and Tim Flannery. And they have tremendous attitudes.
So let me get this right. Tim Flannery's going to play the guitar and Dave is going to sing?
Well, that's what I'm hearing.
Wow.
That's the early scout report.
That is going to be awesome.
Or maybe Tim Flannery is going to play the guitar and Dave's going to introduce him. Maybe that's how it's going to go.
Foul back. If you want to know just what song Dave might be singing, just tweet him at Fleming Dave, and he might give you an idea what song he's going to sing.
Dave will be joining us in the 4th inning.
And that's a shot up the middle for a base hit. So a 2-out single is going to bring Escobar to the plate. Here's Dave Fleming.
There's Dave Fleming. This is a crossover broadcast. John Miller not with the ball club. He is on assignment. So in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, Dave will be coming over and joining us.
Well, maybe he'll tell you then what he's going to say. Maybe not. At Fleming Dave. Here's Escobar hitting .280. Couple of home runs, 33 driven in. And the first pitch is popped back and out of play.
Base hit that Moustakas hit was up. And if you go back and look at the balls that have been hit hard against Bumgarner, they've been up. Now he started to get the knee-high location down more consistently this inning, but that 2-strike mistake, Moustakas, not going to make him happy.
And that pitch kind of flew up out of the hand of Bumgarner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, he says he likes a flatter mound, but clearly he's not completely gotten command of his release point.
Crawford juggles it, and they got him. So Crawford shot a strike to Duffy. Yost is going to have somebody take a look at it. The umpires are asking the Giants not to leave the field. And that's it. So that is going to end the inning. We will head to the 3rd, and for the Giants, it'll be Pence, Posey, and Sandoval. The beef, they're coming up. It's 2-0 Royals.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
And Hunter Pence chases that changeup and swings and misses. It's 2-0 Kansas City here in the 3rd inning.
He is riding that changeup a lot. It's a good one. Why not? They're not doing much with it.
Pence off the end of the bat, and it's going to fall. So Aoki couldn't get to it. Well, the orange and red seats from Candlestick Park are on sale now for $7.49 per pair. It's the Candlestick Park legends, both Giants and 49ers. We'll be autographing these historic seats. You get some combinations of Mays, Montana, Mays, McCovey, Montana, and Dwight Clark. Here's what you have to do. You go to sfgiants.com/candlestickmemories. Pence aboard. Here's Posey. And the pitch is wide to Buster Posey.
Real careful not to make mistakes with that fastball out over the plate. Let's throw it off the plate, let a guy see it, gauge the speed, then come back, same arm action, throw that changeup.
And a chance for Vargas to chase Hunter Pence back. Pence has got 10 steals. Sandoval on deck, and then Morris. We're in the third inning. And a strike. So that's an 88-mile-an-hour fastball right at the knees. Outside to Buster Posey. The deal with the Royals is you want to get some runs on the board and take the lead before the 7th inning. They got some guys in that bullpen: Herrera, Davis, Holland. And they go 98 to 100. Bruce Bochy said maybe the best 3 in baseball. He said that on his KMBR pregame show.
Well, they're loaded with velocity, as you mentioned.
Posey fouls it back. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And now with Hunter Pence at first, we'll keep an eye. Runner goes, and it's high and foul down the right field line and out of play.
They had a 3-2 changeup.
Well, you're not shocked by that, are you?
No, I'm not. And that's how he has to exist. Fine with the fastball, anytime with changeup.
Skied into center field. Drifting back is Kane. Still drifting back, and he'll put it away. Pence was doing an interview with Chris Rose, Kevin Millar, and his teammates were messing with him as they strolled in behind him.
Well, they definitely had a good time with it. And if you walked to the clubhouse when this is going on, you could have heard a pin drop.
Everybody was watching. Here's Sandoval. Sandoval pops it out of play. Sandoval reached on an Infante error in the first. Out of play. It's 0-2.
And he was protecting that strike zone in a 1-strike count like it was a 2-strike count.
It sure looked like it.
The one thing the Giants have done is they've gotten a lot of pitches out of Vargas. Next one will be number 60. And that's a lot of throws in 3 innings with 1 out in the 3rd inning. They want to elevate a fastball here. It's Sandoval 2. Good chance you're going to see one above and one below the strike zone. Saw the one above.
And the one below, it's 2-2. The deal with Sandoval is he will hit that pitch down low. He won't hit it if it's in the dirt, but if it's above the dirt, he'll take a whack at it. He gets a lot of hits from pitches down in that area. He might actually hit one that's in the dirt. And this one is going to roll into right field, a base hit. Pence is going to get into third. And a good strong throw by Aoki.
Well, if all the three outfielders that the Royals have, you see them extend there with 2-2. He goes way out of the strike zone. They play short to second on the right field side, and here he takes advantage of the hole. And they will challenge Aoki. And this is a good throw, and Pence barely beat it.
But he can scoot.
Well, he was thinking first to third, and here's the throw. He just did get under the tag of Moustakas. And I think Ned Yost wants to have a look. Just killing time so they can get another look at it. I mean, it was bang bang. Oh, he's safe. But they're saying he came off the bag.
Right.
And from that angle, you really couldn't tell.
It looked like there's a possibility that happened. This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
All right, this could tell right here. Now he's safe here, but did he stay in contact with the bag?
Well, his fingers are on it. Yeah, he's good.
I think.
I mean, I say that wishful thinking.
Well, it's got to be clear. I'm not sure if there's enough evidence there that will overturn the call. Be right here. Wow, they may have got him. This will be very interesting to see how the ruling goes. You can definitely see why Ned Yost wanted a challenge. And this one might take a little time. They probably have to run this through. I mean, this is a huge play in this game. Glove goes on the helmet, and Moustakas stays with the play. He keeps the glove on the helmet. And this one might be called out. That's going to be close. Now,
so that's out number 2. And the hitter will be Michael Moores. Bruce Bochy is going out to argue. He said, look, I got a chance to say something.
Cedarstrom's basically saying it's out of my hands. The call was made.
No, you know what he's asking? He's saying, what did Ned Yost want to see on the tag, or did he want to see if the runner was off the bag? And maybe he's saying, well, look, it doesn't make any difference.
Well, it shouldn't make any difference. One more look. This is the first time we've seen this angle. Well, it doesn't matter. They ruled him out.
So here's Morris. Morris lined out to left field to end the first inning. So Sandoval at first. And Morris chases a pitch out of the strike zone, 1-2.
Yeah, that's when you have to step out of the box and reboot. Just be thankful it wasn't the third strike. Haven't seen Vargas throw a lot of those curveballs. And he really surprised Morris with that one.
And a base hit to right field.
That's the pitch right there that he's really was having a problem with, staying inside it for the longest time. And these last several games, he has covered up that hole.
So here's Arias, who doubled in the second. By the way, you may have mentioned it, Mike, but Vargas missed 3 weeks due to an appendectomy. This is only his second start back. Supposed to have those in the offseason.
Well, they kind of have a mind of their own.
And a strike to Arias.
If that was the case, you and I should have it done this offseason.
Yeah, and have the hamate bones take on it at the same time. Sandoval at second, Morris at first. The way it's going tonight for the Giants, they have 3 hits in an inning and they haven't scored. And that is a fair ball. And the Giants are going to be on the board. Sandoval's going to score. Morris to third. And Arias is having a night.
Well, that is huge. The Giants were looking for a spark to get something going in that dugout. And after they had the break go against them with the called out after the ruling on Pitts, this is the swing of the bat that gets momentum on the other side right here. And you're right, have a night. Arias' second double of the night, and this one is huge.
Well, Duffy now can really make this hurt. Giants with runners at second and third. Arias with pretty good speed at second. Duffy singled in the left field in the second. And he bounces this one into right field, a base hit. They're going to wave in. Arias, here's the throw home, and he is out at the plate. Flannery took a gamble. He thought it was worth it. The Giants do indeed tie it up. It's 2-2.
Our cold hard facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And the oldest ballparks in the major leagues, well, Fenway Park would be the oldest. Erected in 1912, then Wrigley Field in 1914, then Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, Coliseum in Oakland, and Kauffman Stadium round out the oldest 6 of the 30 big league ballparks. And that's our Coors Light cold hard facts.
First game here in 1975. Here's Aoki, and he will break his bat and roll one foul. 1973. As you mentioned, when it opened, they also hosted the All-Star game that year. But the first 20 years or so, AstroTurf, and he was one of the few AstroTurf parks in the American League. 1995, they rolled out the grass, and I think a lot of people were very happy about that. Although George Brett can thank the turf for about an extra 140 doubles in his career. He'd hit a little looper to the outfield, and he just wouldn't stop. Bounced so high, he'd end up at second base. And that was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and Aoki yelled before it hit him.
Well, the last thing Bumgarner wanted to do is get the leadoff man on base by way of a hit batsman. I mean, this is a shutdown hitting opportunity for him. But this, and you heard the scream. I mean, that not that far away from the spine.
Well, you got him in the ribs, huh?
Yeah. And he had nowhere to go.
So here's Infante, who doubled in the first. Well, you're right. Your team scores a couple of runs. You don't want that guy on. Plus, he's got the ability to steal a bag.
The Royals are a running team. They've got 94 steals this year as a team.
For Nori Aoki. He's been thrown out 4 times. So Bumgarner's job, at least give Buster Posey a shot. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Salvador Perez to follow, and then Billy Butler. Hit on the ground. Duffy, Crawford, Morris, got him.
Wow.
Didn't think that Crawford was going to get enough on the throw, but he did.
This may be one that the Royals are taking a look at it in regards to the back end of the play. I didn't know if they were going to have a chance to get him. Not a whole lot of backswing from Infante. He's getting out of the box pretty well, but.
And quite frankly, Mike, I'm tired of the Royals looking at him.
Well,
I mean, I am.
I think they got him.
I'm sick of seeing Ned Yost go out on the field. Here's Salvador Perez. Takes a pitch down low. They're trying to get Kerwin Danley to appeal. Now he will, and no swing, of course.
Too late.
2 balls and no strikes.
Well, right now, Bumgarner's going after Perez like he feels Perez has got him time because he's nibbling. And you don't often see him nibble.
And he drops in a, what that was, maybe a cutter or a slider for a strike. And this is lined right at Perez, and that's going to end the inning. Dave Fleming, he'll be in 4, 5, and 6. I see you back here in the 7th. It's a 2-2 ball game.
To the top of the fourth, here to tell us all about it, Dave Fleming, welcome.
Tell you all about it. It's taken a lot of words so far, hasn't it? I mean, this has been a crazy game, the kind of game where you feel like at the end of it we're going to be talking about it for the rest of the year. Just wild so far.
Well, a lot of protests, a lot of review, but a lot of good plays. We've seen some exceptional play from Nori Aoki, the right fielder for the Royals, who's really been on his game and throwing out people tonight. 2 in 1 inning. You don't see that very often.
Not often. So Juan Perez will lead off here against Vargas, who has been very vulnerable. The Giants have had a lot of good at bats against him. Perez up the middle, base hit. So here they go again. The Giants, now that's the first hitter of the 4th inning. That is their 9th hit already. 9 hits.
Well, and I like the fact that the bottom of the lineup is getting them. We talked about one of the keys tonight is the 6, 7, 8, 9 guys for the Giants, and with that swing of the bat right there, they've got 5 hits.
Yeah, the one moment that stands out in this game in a disappointing way for the Giants, when they had 1st and 3rd, nobody out, and Perez and Crawford could not get a run in the last of the 2nd. But Juan Perez, his 2nd chance, leading off here in the 4th, and a solid single to center field. So we'll see if Crawford can improve a little bit. His 2nd trip against Vargas. Strike 1 on the outside with that cutter. I mean, you figure Vargas may not last much longer in this game. The Giants have just put pressure on him right from the start.
Well, we've seen him. This is his 7th year in the big leagues. I always thought he was a better pitcher with his appendix.
So without the appendix, the stuff's just not quite the same.
It's just not the same.
They'll pay attention to Perez over at first.
As Kite said, this is his 2nd start back from having the appendectomy, which cost him 3 weeks, which is kind of a medical miracle, you know, when you think about it.
Well, and I think it is actually a good point, all kidding aside, because I mean, his last start, first time through the lineup, first few innings, he was excellent, and then he sort of ran out of gas. Crawford hits a foul. And you do wonder, I mean, a guy sits out for 3 weeks, you have a surgery, how much does that take out? How quick can you bounce back from that and be at full strength?
Well, when you have an appendectomy, it's not like you can go out there and play long toss 2 days after the surgery. So
exactly.
Your arm will atrophy. Very difficult to ask a guy to do it, but this is August, and you know he's an important part of this team.
0-2. Crawford stays alive.
And they're making a run. Trying to catch Detroit.
Yeah, they won 12 out of 15, and they're right on the heels of the powerful Tigers. Everybody has just conceded the division all year long to Detroit, and Kansas City is hoping to do something about that. Vargas likes to pay attention to the runners at first base. Talking about this division, the Tigers, and they've sort of come back down to earth. They made the David Price trade, but 62-50. The Royals just 2.5 back. A season high, 7 games over 500.
Well, the strength of this Royals team has been their defense and their pitching. If they could get their offense going, I mean, they could make some noise. They've kind of been waiting for it all year.
And they have some guys who you feel like are going to be better hitters than they have been. Crawford just barely made contact there. I mean, Billy Butler now looks red hot. His numbers were so far down for most of the season. Alex Gordon was sort of plugging along. He's a very solid player. Crawford toward the left side, kind of a weird spinner. Escobar gets the force at second. That's a pretty nice play.
They had Escobar playing close to second base, and I think he had a little bit of a lean towards the bag before he comes back. Watch his movement off the crack. There's a little bit of a lean there to the bag, and now he's got to come back across his momentum. And once that happens, I think it takes away the realistic opportunity to get that double play. Still, though, nice play.
Good eyes by you.
Thanks, partner.
Because there was a tiny little lean. Here's Pagan. Pagan 0 for 2, although his 2 at bats, he's probably gotten 15 pitches out of Jason Vargas. So he hasn't gone down quietly. The point we were making about Vargas, he pays a lot of attention to runners at first. You're so limited in your running game, though, with Perez, the catcher. It's very hard to put on a play, ask a guy to steal with that guy behind home plate. Ball 1 to Pagan. He's still a young player, Salvador Perez, the Royals catcher, but I think universally now considered the best defensive catcher in the American League.
Well, and he's 6'3", 250. I mean, he's not a small guy, but he sets up very, very quietly, gives you a nice little compact target, and you look at his lower body, it stays very still. And that's what you like. You normally see a guy 6'3", 250. I mean, he's not going to be a guy that frames the low part of the strike zone well. Well, that's not the case with Perez.
2-0 count. Pagan, changeup, strike 1.
Well, that's the pitch when you have had a long layout period that it is hardest to see and recognize when you're in the batter's box. And to Vargas' credit, he's got a good one.
Oh, got to tighten that up a little bit. So in some ways, this is sort of the worst type of pitcher for Pagan to face, just off the DL without his perfect timing and rhythm.
I agree. I mean, it'd probably be better for him to have a guy like we saw yesterday, just a flamethrower with Peralta, the starting pitcher for the Brewers yesterday.
There's another changeup. This time Pagan took it. Ball 3. Well, you have Pence on deck, then Posey. Already a runner at first. Already 9 hits for the Giants in this game, trying to put some more pressure on this left-hander.
It seems like Vargas has been in the stretch all night long.
Without his defense, this might be a much different game. His defense has saved him. The Royals' long man is Bruce Chen, who's been around a long time. And he's kind of a similar style pitcher to Vargas, left-hander, not a real hard thrower.
Yeah, if Vargas is mid to high 80s, Bruce Chen is low to mid 80s.
We could see him at some point in this game, you figure. Pagan, foul ball on 3-1. Well, you got to pitch up. He's so geared. I think when you face Vargas, you get so geared to trying to find anything up. Sometimes you can chase a little bit. Crawford, the runner at first. We'll see if he takes off. He does. And Pagan pops it up. So Crawford slams on the brakes. And he'll go back as Infante has out number 2.
Now, the last time we were here 5 years ago, they were renovating this ballpark, and we saw a lot of renderings of what it was going to look like. Well, now we see the finished ballpark, and it is magnificent. This is a great place to see a game.
Feels very intimate, doesn't it? Feels like a real small ballpark.
And it's sunken, and you don't get a lot of wind here. I mean, it really plays big. It plays fair to all sides. There's not a lot of carry to one side of the field.
Ball 1 to Pence.
And I'm sure the Giants fans that are here tonight, there's a lot of orange and black at the ballpark tonight, are enjoying this experience.
Yeah, it's a cool view from where we sit. And lots of Giants fans have made their way to the Midwest. Some in full costume. Curveball, close, but called a ball.
Yeah, Vargas wanted that one. You don't get a lot of belt high strikes with Kerwin Danley.
Here's your look.
Yeah, there's the view from the freeway as you drive by.
Yeah, and that gives you an idea of how sunken it is. Pence to right field. Aoki with room, and he makes a catch. So the Giants with another hit, but they do not score. Bumgarner back to the mound. 2-2 game.
Is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, Monday, August 25th, the Mystery Bobblehead Prize Pack Special Event. A special event package including a mystery bag, including one Giants 2014 bobblehead and an additional Giants item. There are 2 prizes in the bag, as well as a game ticket to see the Giants and the Rockies. But it's not for everybody. To get the mystery bag, you got to get the special event ticket. sfgiants.com/special events. August 25th. Billy Butler, who has been the key man for the Royals in this 2-2 game, last of the 4th. He leads off against Bumgarner. And a close fastball. Bumgarner asking where was that pitch. Kerwin Danley ignoring him.
Well, Bumgarner should know by now he's not getting the belts. That's about the 4th one that he feels he should have gotten, he didn't get. But that Stanley strike zone, I mean, he's going to give you some that are lower than other umpires. You don't just get many belts, so that's his zone right there.
Yeah, you get the call on that one. 1-1 to Butler. That home run he hit in the first was a booming home run. On a 2-strike pitch, hit that one foul. Speaking of, this was the first inning.
Now they're throwing a second strike by him up above the hands. They try and do it again in a 2-strike count, and this is what Billy Butler says: do not go there again. And a nice 2-strike swing of the bat that put the Royals on top momentarily, 2-0.
Yeah. Maybe if he'd gotten it all the way in, you could have gotten him, but he left a little bit too much in the strike zone. And that one bounced to short. Crawford's got it. Butler does not run very well, so Crawford throws him out. Billy Butler is a good hitter. He is not a fast runner. He is not a good defensive player. And when Eric Hosmer, the normal first baseman, is healthy, he is a DH. And he's sort of the classic guy in the American League, along with David Ortiz, who is just your designated hitter. So only because of that injury is he playing in the field these days. But he's a good hitter. Here's Alex Gordon, who is very much the opposite. Gordon is known for his bat, but also considered one of the best defensive outfielders in the game and a good base runner.
But I mean, don't you think you should have that ability to play both sides of the ball?
I think you should, yeah.
Hit, play a little defense.
Ground ball. And Crawford has it go right off his glove. And I don't know why he played it that way. He certainly could have just gotten in front of it, and he decided to backhand it, and it skimmed right past him.
This style of fielding the backhand has really gotten him into some problems. And what he's doing is he's crossing his left leg over. And once you do that, you stiffen out the elbow and your hands become hard. The way that he used to take it with his right leg in front, and it would give him a bend in his elbow and a much softer way to receive that backhand. He's gotten into a bad habit, and it really has cost him some errors this year.
So should be 2 outs, nobody on. Instead, 1 out, and Gordon at first base. And Gordon is a threat to run. You got to pay attention to him. Lorenzo Cain takes ball 1.
And on a warm night, I mean, the one thing you don't want to do is cause your pitcher to throw a lot of extra pitches because of sloppy defense.
Crawford's got 17 errors on the year now.
And I'll bet you 7 of them have been on that backhand.
Yeah. Very few throwing errors for Crawford.
Now watch the left leg come across the right leg right there. And that's all it takes. As you cross over, your elbow gets stiff and you lose the softness in your hand. And the way you want to take that is with your right foot ahead of your left foot. And that gives bend in your elbow, and it gives you a softer ability to receive the ball.
It's almost like doing it that way, you make yourself flat-footed. You make you lose your balance. And so for Brandon Crawford,
that's the first year we've ever seen him do that.
Yeah.
His backhand has always been a strength, and he's just gotten into a bad habit. He's going to have to fix it.
Gordon has 7 steals in 9 tries. The runner at first. Cain swing and a miss. Good cutter. Lorenzo Cain's turned into a good player. Excellent defensive center fielder. His batting average for the year is .304. Not a lot of power. He's got 3 home runs, but good player. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He got it.
Right back with the same pitch, lowered it just a little bit. And 2 swing throughs as Madison Bumgarner tries to pitch through an air. Strikeout number 3, and this is just nasty. Ooh. 88-mile-an-hour cut that bottoms out his back foot. And he was in the protect mode with 2 strikes.
And really, this is, to me, it's one of the fun things about interleague play, because I guarantee you the Royals will talk about that pitch as a team, because there's just not that many pitchers that throw it. They've never seen Madison Bumgarner before. There's a chance for them to see him, see that pitch, which is pretty unique. The designated hitter, Kratz, hits a foul ball.
Well, it is unique, and his low 3/4 is one that's not a normal delivery, and he hides it so well. He's got a huge upper body turn, and I think it's even harder to pick up his release point for a right-handed hitter as it is from a left-hander side.
And that's interesting, because when he was coming up, I think a lot of the scouts were wondering, okay, well, does he show the ball too much to right-handed hitters? Is he going to be too vulnerable to them? And it's not been the opposite of that, but I think what you're talking about has helped him mitigate what could have been a weakness, and it's almost a strength.
And to his credit too, I mean, he's such a different pitcher now than when we first saw him. When we first saw him, he was a 2-pitch guy. You know, he understands the fastball now, 2 types of grip.
Gordon got a big break. Posey's throw, 1 hop tag, and got him. Nice play by Duffy on the quick release from Posey, and Gordon thrown out. So the error doesn't cost the Giants. On to the 5th, 2-2.
Your photo using hashtag CSNBA fan photo, your full name and your hometown for a chance to have it shown on an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. This is Larkin Bond of Novato. Our new puppy Bochy was Carrie's birthday present today, so happy birthday, Carrie. Bochy the dog.
I can't wait to tell Bruce Bochy that Giants fans are starting to name their dogs after him.
And that's our AT&T fan photo.
I guess you're big time when that happens. Curveball to Posey, strike 1.
Well, it's cool. And I've had a couple cats, a couple dogs named after me, but then they run away. And people are like ticked at me. I think I'm like calling them back into my house or something.
Krug. Krug.
But I think it's the ultimate compliment, man.
Come here. Buster's had 2 good at-bats against Vargas, and he's ahead of the count here, 2-1. Buster, if you name your dog Buster, nobody's going to know. You got to name it Posey if you want to really name it after this guy.
There's a lot of Busters.
There's a lot of Busters.
Rightfully so.
Posey had a good cut there, but fouled it back.
You're an MVP. You win a batting title. You're Rookie of the Year. You have a couple World Series rings. There should be a few babies out there named Buster too, which I'm sure there are.
Yeah, you can be sure of that. That one is drilled to right field, but Aoki is there to make the catch. Aoki is the center of the action tonight. Giants in the third got 2 runs across to tie the game, but Aoki in that inning threw out 2 different Giants base runners. Otherwise, it might have been a 4-run inning. 5 Giants might still be hitting in the third.
Well, the book on the Royals is that the best arms are in left and in center. And if you're going to challenge Aoki, and they did twice, and 2 times he's come up with assists and absolutely perfect throws.
Jason Frazier getting loose in the bullpen. Here's Pablo. Foul ball for strike 1. That pitch count, Vargas is desperate for a quick inning. 92 pitches already. Pablo 1 for 2, had a hit and scored a run in that third. He actually managed to avoid being thrown out by Aoki. I mean, it was 2 perfect throws, two great throws. Well, we used to see him with the Brewers. He had a good arm. Does not happen very often. The Royals tell us that's the 3rd time in their history that a outfielder has thrown out 2 in 1 inning. It's a long history. Now the curveball fooled Pablo, struck him out. Pablo not happy with that at bat.
No, he is not. Yeah, I think generally speaking, as the game wears on and a hitter gets in third at bat against the same pitcher, they start to feel like they have the edge.
Michael Morse, 2 good swings in this game. 1 for 2, but has hit the ball hard twice. Takes that sinker low. And there are some signs here, slowly but surely, that Michael Morse is swinging the bat the way he did those first 2 months. And that could be a very big deal for the Giants. He chased one there.
Boy, his last at bat, when he took the inside fastball above the hands after he had been softballed with some changeups and he threw it to right field. That's the swing that he had early in the year. And the pitch that he beat was not a hanger. It was exactly where Vargas wanted to throw it.
Changeup, strike 2. Well, the Giants may be without Brandon Belt for a while. Belt today went back on the concussion disabled list. Terrible news for Belt, for the Giants. So you figure Morse is going to have to be playing first base a lot. They get Pagan back. They lose Belt again. Morris stays alive.
3 changeups in a row. You know you have a good changeup when you can throw it 3 times in a row and the guy still can't keep his back leg on it.
He might throw it again.
Well, he got beat with a fastball up and in a location that he wanted to throw it to in Morse's last at bat. I agree with you. He's going to stay soft.
See what Perez wants to do.
He wants to go fastball away.
Well, Morse had a better swing on that one.
So he did not stay soft, and that was a well-placed fastball out there at 88. But after you've seen 3 changeups, that 88 looks like about 93.
One and 2 to Morse, who is playing first base tonight in place of Belt. That was a curveball that got a good chunk of the strike zone. That was up. Vargas might have gotten away with one there. That was the 100th pitch of the game. Not through 5 innings. Ground ball. Escobar throws out Morse, and the Giants go down in order. Middle of the 5th here in Kansas City. Bumgarner back to work, 2-2.
State 2007. Matt Cain hit his first career home run, and Bruce Bochy recorded his 1,000th career victory as a manager. Giants beat the Nationals 5-0, and we always say, if you throw a shutout and hit a home run, you can't lose. And that's our McDonald's true history.
The Twitter feed got inundated. I got lots of dog and cat pictures. Lots of Buster the dog.
Oh, did you? Well, there you go. He's out there.
If you want to send along your pet pictures, we'll accept them. 2-2 game, and a first pitch swing and a miss by Kratz, who was actually at the plate when the fourth inning ended. Posey threw out Alex Gordon trying to steal. And Bumgarner has settled in. The first inning was rough. Gave up the 2 runs, gave up a lot of loud contact. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Meanwhile, the Giants offense 9 hits in this game against Vargas, who probably is done 100+ pitches in 5 innings.
Yeah, I gotta believe he's done.
Now a swing and a miss by Kratz. That's that curveball. I think that curveball continues to improve for Bumgarner. It's almost like it's got even more bite to it, a little less hump.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, ever since he got locked into the set of mechanics, that curveball has been sharp.
Posey gives a signal for that cutter, and he threw a good one. Kratz did well just to hit a foul. Just the first game of 3 between 2 playoff contending teams. 2 teams that would be in if the season were over today. And I think 2 teams that are similar in style. That one hit to right. Pence is there. 1 away.
I think you're absolutely hitting the nail on the head when you talk about these 2 teams being very similar. They scratch and claw for offense. If they score 4 runs, their record is ridiculous. They're really based on pitching and defense. They both do not play well in their home parks. They're better road teams. I mean, the parallels are amazing.
Even sort of the styles. I mean, you got 2 offensive teams that don't take a lot of walks. They swing aggressively. Here's Moustakas. Tell you what, Moustakas had an at bat his first time up that would not indicate a guy hitting below 200, which he was before that at bat.
Well, it was one of the pitches that Bumgarner had gotten up. It was right there at the belt. He went right back up the middle with a good swing.
That's a good curve for strike 1.
I think the curve has come alive. It wasn't as sharp first inning as it is now. Curveballs could do that. I mean, any pitch could do that, but curveballs can be temperamental more than other pitches.
Moustakas does have a lot of power. Foul ball out of play.
Hey, open up a game if you've got 5 things you can do with the ball and maybe only 2 or 3 of them are working, but you don't give up on it. I mean, you keep coming back to it. You may pick it up 3rd or 4th inning. That's kind of what has happened with the curveball tonight with Bumgarner.
And I think one thing you've pointed out in the past about the catcher, Buster Posey, there's the slider cued foul, is Buster doesn't let a pitcher forget about a pitch if it's not working. He wants to keep using it.
He knows that. You know, and I do believe, he was a pitcher at one point in his young career. I mean, he knows that. And a lot of those things that he does as a catcher, I think, are because of his experience as a pitcher. And there's examples we're talking about, bringing a pitch back.
There's a cutter against the shift. Nicely scooped by Duffy, and he throws out Moustakas. That's a good play.
Well, one thing about Duffy, and Kite pointed this out, it would take a second baseman to appreciate it from another second baseman. He's a tall guy, and he's got long arms, and he has got long reach. And for a play like that, you needed every bit of it. Nice.
Yeah, that is nice. And he looks pretty comfortable over there. I mean, how many games had he played in the minor leagues at second base before he came up? Like 5 in his career? 3?
There's not many.
So have at it, kid. Learn here at this level. He's done a good job. Escobar takes the, I think that was a changeup for a strike.
Like I say, Posey will not let you forget about pitches.
That one just slapped to Duffy. A much more routine play. And a pretty easy inning for Madison Bumgarner. Speaking of, Duffy is coming up when we come back in this 2-2 tie.
All 30 MLB teams and 2014 players. Get the retro 2-button style baseball game you've been missing. Visit RBIGame.com for more details and download today on your console and mobile device.
Well, it's 2-2 here. This game goes to the 6th inning on this beautiful night in Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium. Interleague play over this summertime weekend, and a new pitcher when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. It's Jason Frazier, the right-hander, in from the Kansas City bullpen.
Take a look at the numbers for Jason Frazier. 47th time he's come in, 2-1 with a 2.88 ERA. 2-1 strikeout walk ratio. Chewing on lefties more so than righties and only giving up a couple of home runs. Tells you he's got some sink. It's a low 90s sink. He's also got a slider and a split to go with it. But pretty much you're going to see fastball, slider. Big hit of the night for the Giants was this double off the bat of Joaquin Arias. And for Arias, it was his second double of the game. It was part of the Giants' 2-run third that tied this score up. He has been fantastic tonight.
The secret weapon, Joaquin Arias, has as many extra base hits tonight in 2 at-bats as he has had before tonight all year. So Frazier against Arias, and a called strike. Bruce Bochy would have, with Belt going on the DL, probably maneuvered some things around differently and just let Pablo play third, but he had already told Pablo, hey, you're going to DH game 1, we're going to get you off your feet. Been banged up a little bit. So with the left-handed starter, he just stuck with that plan.
Well, and you have to show confidence in your bench people. You really do. I mean, this is when you need your guys on the bench right now and all the way through the end of the year. And they have to make contribution. They have to be part of it. And tonight Arias has done that.
Well, they have not been a big part of it most of this year. They just haven't. So it's really nice to see Arias a big part of the offense tonight. The Giants are into the Kansas City bullpen, which is not a bad thing in the middle innings. But these next few at bats, this next turn through the lineup is huge. Arias strikes out swinging. One away. You go into the late innings against this Royals team and you're behind, you're going to lose. I mean, the Royals have 3 of the nastiest late inning relievers, maybe the best 1-2-3 combo late inning relief in Major League Baseball, and they sort of loom over everything. If you're behind late against Kansas City, and late is basically after this inning, you're in trouble. Matt Duffy 2 for 2, and he checks his swing to take ball 1. So Duffy's played a nice part in this one.
And he's also going to have to crank up the bat speed here a little bit.
Different speed against Frazier. That one misses. 2-0.
Frazier, I was going, where was that?
Which we have heard a lot from the pitchers, I think, in this game.
Well, just from the belt high pitches, and to Kerwin Danley's credit, I mean, he's been very consistent with it. It has been called the ball all night, so everybody should know that.
If you're going to get it wrong consistently. Fastball.
And that's all you ask as a hitter and a pitcher. This is the pitch in question, and it's one that, I mean, it's what a pitcher wants. Pitcher wants everything, but Danley has not called it once tonight. He's been very consistent that way. I think his strike zone tonight's been very good.
Well, Duffy couldn't connect on that fastball. That's 2-1. That's a strike. Down with the fastball, 2-2.
And that's the Danley zone. He likes the low pitch. There were a couple of mistakes that he made with breaking balls way below the strike zone. One to Michael Morris, one to Billy Butler, but for the most part, it's been a pretty steady zone.
Struck out Matt Duffy. 2 down.
All right, time now for our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. And we go back to inning number 1. And this is how it started out defensively with Perez in left field, just sort of cruises and takes on the wall. And he snags the fly ball. Aoki was retired. And Madison Bumgarner was digging it. That's our Togo's big play, the Togo's way.
I don't think he realized that wall was as close as it was. But he came out of it just fine.
Yeah, he's built to take on walls, though.
He is. Very strong kid.
Built like a running back.
Two game, 2 outs against this new pitcher. Well, Perez off the end of the bat to left. So a different game now that Frazier has taken over. Giants go quietly on to the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 to score.
Net Bay area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, offering business and personal insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, look at downtown Kansas City. We're a ways away from downtown here at Kauffman Stadium. 2-2. Really was a wild first few innings. It sort of settled down in the middle innings tonight. But this will be a challenge for Bumgarner. third time through the top of the order in a tie game. Aoki 0 for 1 has been hit by a pitch. Shows a bunt but takes a ball. Aoki, not a lot of power, but his job is just to get on base. Big hitters to follow. There's a strike at the bottom of the zone. That one right there again, strike 2.
92, just pounding the knees, pounding the knees.
Use the slider there, that 88-mile-an-hour pitch, but missed.
Such a good kill pitch for Bumgarner against lefties.
That one hard on the ground, scooped up by Crawford nicely, and he throws out the speedy Aoki. 1 out. Well, it's time to log on to CSNBayArea.com and decide the player of the game. Your vote counts. Winner will be revealed during Giants postgame live. Follow the action on the diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats and more. Giants in-game live on CSNBayArea.com. So that was a nice play by Brandon Crawford to keep Aoki off the bases. Here's Infante. Has a double and a run scored. Royals got their 2 in the first. Giants got their 2 in the third. And Bumgarner, the pitch count in the first 2 innings was a problem. He's been very efficient since then, so he should have plenty left in the tank. A little backdoor cutter called a ball, and Bumgarner mutters to himself.
Now he's feisty out there.
He is.
And he's always had that mean streak in him. Loves to compete.
That one pulled into left field. So Infante with a 1-out single on a breaking ball that kind of hung up there for an extra moment.
Well, now this is going to be interesting because Perez has had some really good at bats against Bumgarner tonight. He's 0 for 2, but he has scalded the ball twice. And Bumgarner knows it. He knows that Perez has seen him well.
Perez, hard for him to hit the ball as hard, even harder than he has already. I mean, he has hit 2 bullets. So this feels like a very big moment in this game.
Yeah, I think so. Just because of how he's hit him the previous 2 at bats.
Down and in, ball 1.
And you don't really have the luxury to pitch around him.
Yeah, if you do, then the go-ahead run is in scoring position for the guy who's really been their hottest hitter, Billy Butler.
And who has already hit a 2-run homer against Bumgarner tonight. So he's got to get after him.
Yeah. There's Butler waiting to hit. Perez cues that one, and a diving stop by Morse. Duffy was not there, and the throw goes by Bumgarner. And the Giants get nobody, and on the play, Infante's going to third. Wow. And I was assuming Crawford would be there at the bag.
Well, Crawford is playing way in the hole because of the shift.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a weird deal for Duffy. He's got to come across, and for Michael Morse, he's got to try and lead. He's looking at Crawford. He's throwing the ball to Crawford. And that is a weird play that kind of sets up because of the shift. You saw from that angle, the guy that Morse was throwing to was Crawford. And it was Duffy who was at the bag. I mean, this is a nice play for Michael Morse. But here he throws to what he saw was Crawford. And the play, really, the mistake was made
was Duffy making the throw he never really should. That's a rookie mistake.
Well, you're trying to get an out instead. Now runner at third with one out. And a swing and a miss. And they're going to charge two different errors on the play. They're going to give Morse a throwing error for not getting the out at second, and Duffy a throwing error for allowing Infante to go to third. Which I don't know about that. Butler down the right field line and slicing foul. Well, now Bumgarner ahead 0-2 in a spot where he really needs a strikeout.
Yeah, I must suppose you're going to come out and talk to him, and I guarantee the last thing he says is, if you're going to throw that ball in the dirt, I will block it. Now, this is a great situation to be in if you're Bumgarner. You don't really have a base stealer at first base with Perez. You got 3 chances to go down below the strike zone and get either a strikeout or a double play. And when you go down below, that's where he gets his ground balls. But boy, if you're on the left side of the infield, you better be awake, because it's probably coming your way.
He's a real double play candidate. Billy Butler does not run well. 0-2. And he went up with the fastball. Butler got the bat on the ball.
That's a dangerous pitch. It's a dangerous pitch because it's an easy pitch to miss. And when you miss low, the target you're trying to hit is above the letters. When you miss below the letters, it's an easy pitch to get airborne. And that's what Billy Butler's trying to do. He's trying to hit a fly ball to keep it up to score Infante from third.
He held up. They went up again. No swing on appeal.
Now that's a better pitch. That's one that is above the shoulders. So they have definitely cleansed the palate of the eye. They could go right back down, back foot with a slider. They may get him. And even if he hits it, they may get a double play.
First and third, one out. And a 1-2 count to Butler. He cues one, and it skips past Morse into right field. Infante comes in to score, and the Royals go ahead 3-2.
Even if Michael Morse makes this play, they're going to score. Infante was going on contact, and once Michael Morse left his feet, they were not going to have a play at first base, or at home rather. Infante going on contact, and once Morse went down, it was going to be an easy score for the Royals, regardless of whether they went into right field or not. The good thing about the play is that Perez could not get past second base, and they don't have a first and third here.
Bumgarner made a good pitch. It was not real solid contact, but Butler trying to avoid the strikeout. He got the bat on the ball, and he got rewarded for it.
Well, and I think early in the game had everything to do with him staying away in that situation. Well, you got to credit Butler for going the opposite way. That's pretty good at bat. He went with the location, and early in the game they beat Bumgarner with a fastball in on the hands. So Posey's mind, that took away the inside corner.
So here's Gordon as the Royals try to add on. They've already gone ahead. And a strike right there on the outside with the cutter. Gordon is 0 for 2, has struck out and reached on an error. So a couple of very weird plays on balls hit to the right side. And Kansas City's taking advantage of it. Gordon to left field, and Perez a long way to go, and he can't catch it. And now it goes by him into the corner. That will score Perez. Butler on his way to third. The throw was grabbed by Arias, and somehow he got the tag on Butler, who didn't slide.
Boy, that's a mistake from a veteran, not sliding.
So it's 4-2. Billy Butler, who might be the slowest runner in the game, and the Giants got a break because of it.
Well, this ball was really going to be a tough play for Perez. The reason for that, it had slice on it, and it was working its way away from him, but he very quickly gets it gets to his feet, gets a throw off to Crawford, who throws a strike to Arias. And the play that Arias makes here is remarkable.
It was.
He has to come to his right and come back his body. If Butler slides, I mean, there's no way. He's basically stopped to get tagged. And that could be a huge play.
Arias sort of bore the brunt of it, but that was tremendous. Wasn't a great relay throw. And Arias got the tag on. Now a ball hit to center field for Pagan. He's there, and he makes the catch. But the Royals scored twice. Bumgarner, I'm not sure he knew it was the third out. Now he'll walk off the field. It's 4-2 Kansas City.
Toyota game summary. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. For the Giants, 2 runs on 9 hits, 3 errors. The Royals, 4 runs on 6, 1 error. Bumgarner really kind of let down a bit by his defense. He's been strong, but he trails this ball game 4-2. Vargas, his opponent, 5 innings, 9 hits allowed, but he minimized the damage to 2 runs. Joaquin Arias 2 for 3 tonight with 2 doubles. He's had a good night. And Billy Butler for the Royals, 2 for 3 with a home run, a 2-run shot in the first. That is our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Well, when it's time for change, seek Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Kelvin Herrera, one of the 3-headed monsters for the Royals in the 7th inning. It's his 49th time he's come in. 2-2 with a 1.69 ERA. And look at the strikeouts, 40 in 48 innings. And what he comes at you with is a fastball that's high 90s and at times will go into the hundreds. It is lots and lots of power from a high 3/4 release. He's also had a curveball and a changeup, but for the most part he just says country hard, here I come, and it is live. You're going to see fastballs 71% of the time, and it averages 97, and that is a big league fastball. And the other 29% of the time it's curveballs and changeups, more changes than curves. It is 4-2 Royals, top of the 7th. Once again, Dwayne Kuiper.
And it'll be Crawford, and Crawford takes a strike. Crawford is 0 for 2. Pagan to follow. So Dyson is now in center field. And the pitch to Crawford, and Crawford fouls it back. You better get ready. That was at 100. As I mentioned, Dyson in center. And Kane moves to right. So Giants need some base runners. They got time to do it. And Crawford stays alive.
We first saw Kelvin Herrera in spring training this year, and it was you're a lot closer in spring. Broadcast booths, the ballparks are all much more compact than the fields during the regular season. But we were really amazed at the pop of the glove that this guy was putting on. And down in spring training, you didn't have the luxury of having a speed gun, so you didn't know exactly how hard he was throwing. But based on the sound, he was throwing hard.
Yeah, we a lot of times just go by sound.
They're breaking a glove quickly.
And it's wide. It's 2-2. As a hitter, you don't get much of a chance to figure out whether it's going to be a strike or not. And that's why anytime it's a close pitch with a guy that throws this hard, more so than not, you're going to swing at it. One down in the seventh.
That is not fair. That's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball with two-seam movement. Running away, absolutely perfect location at the knees. And I don't know if that pitch is hittable. This thing, watch it move and just absolutely take off at 98. That ought to be illegal. Wow.
Here's Pagan. Pagan is 0 for 3.
Talked about the back-end relievers for the Royals being an incredible 1-2-3 punch. And this is the first wave of it with Herrera. You don't have to have a lot of swing with a guy that throws 98 to 100. He's going to supply the power.
And that's off the backstop, and it's now 0-2. So Pagan finds himself in the hole. Hunter Pence on deck. We are in the 7th. And it's high, 1-2.
Herrera, 24 years old. He's 5'10". He's built like a shortstop. 5'10", 200 pounds. But boy, can he run it up there.
And Pagan is going to single into right field, and Herrera really did Pagan a favor. He threw him a breaking ball. Here's Pence. Hunter Pence has had a couple of good at bats. He's 1 for 3. Buster Posey to follow.
Talking mano-a-mano right here.
Pagan's going to go, and that's hit to Infante at second, and Infante will throw him out. Pagan ends up at second.
You know, the thing that's amazing about what you're witnessing here with Herrera is they're throwing two-seam fastballs. You're throwing two-seam fastballs at 98, 99 miles per hour. Now, why is that amazing? Well, the highest velocity fastball you're going to throw is with a four-seam grip. Your fingers are pulling on the seam of the baseball, and that's where you're always going to get the most velocity. But
not as much movement. The 2-seam fastball, you're not going to get as much velocity, but you get more movement. He's throwing at 98, 99.
Yeah. In tight to Buster Posey. Now Buster, we've seen, is not that impressed with velocity. Every hitter's impressed with movement. But he has a way of speeding things up a little bit. Two and 0.
I know one thing. I mean, you're not going to go up there looking for anything else but the fastball. And that's a 2-seam grip right there. Guy's got an incredible arm.
Tap slowly. Escobar's got it. And that'll end the inning. Giants strand Pagan. Bottom of the 7th coming up. A 4-2 lead. And for Bumgarner, he'll be facing Kratz, Moustakas, and Escobar. And the beauty of the designated hitter is pitchers will get to pitch later in games, and that's what Bumgarner's doing.
It's such an advantage when you're getting in the 7th and 8th innings to get wins if you're a starting pitcher.
See, Kratz waves at a pitch, and it's 0-1. Moustakas on deck, and then Escobar. And the next pitch is down low. .97 pitches now for Bumgarner. And it's high. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The guy that's been in the middle of both scoring innings has been Billy Butler. And a week ago, they were complaining at how cold he was as a hitter. Not anymore.
No, not anymore. His at-bats tonight have been fantastic. And that's what the Royals are waiting for. They're waiting for the offense to kick in. This team has been held together all year with their defense and their pitching.
And another foul ball off the top of the Giants dugout.
Royals pitching ranks third in the American League.
And this is going to be a ball just stroked into left field for a base hit. Phillies will be in town when we get back home. Friday night, the 15th, is Orange Friday. Saturday, Virgin American flight voucher to the first 40,000 fans. That's a 105 start. Sunday, the first 20,000 fans in a 105 start, they're going to get trading cards presented by Coca-Cola. sfgiants.com. Here's Moustakas. Arias to Crawford to Morris, and that's your basic 5-6-3 double play.
Well, and talk about how weird this is for an infielder.
Well, we've seen Crawford at one point on one of these drop the throw from third. It's just an odd play because Crawford is turning a double play where he can't see the runner, where his whole life turning a double play from short, he can see the runner coming at him. But it was hit hard enough where he had plenty of time to do whatever he wanted to.
We're seeing more and more things like that with all these dramatic defensive alignments prior to a pitch.
Well, a lot of teams are doing it. You're right. We're seeing more of it. And more teams are going to do it until all the studies that they have show that it's not working.
I think it's working.
But what it does do is it's going to put middle infielders out of position. And the one thing that they're going to have to start doing is working on turning double plays from odd spots. You saw the play in the 6th inning where Duffy had to cover on a throw from the first baseman.
Yeah.
That's almost impossible to do.
You know, and on that play too, I mean, look, Michael Morris has been back and forth left field, first base. He's played more left field than first base, and that was one of those plays we saw from the high first camera, and it showed that he was throwing the ball to Crawford.
Absolutely he was.
And Duffy came across the bag and caught the ball, but it took him off the bag. That's a rough error.
Well, as a first baseman, you've been taught to throw that ball to the inside of the bag. You got to throw it to the outside of the bag. 8th inning coming up. Afternoon at 4 p.m. It'll be the Giants and the Royals right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Pregame live is going to start at 3:30. Sunday, day game, morning game back in the Bay Area. Then the White Sox and Phillies in town. So Sandoval is going to lead things off. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
New pitcher now for Kansas City is Wade Davis, who has 22 holds on the year, and that ties him for the American League lead with Jabba Chamberlain. And you saw the numbers, they're absolutely dominant. He's another guy that's going to run up there mid to high 90s with the fastball velocity. Not the two-seam movement you saw with Herrera, more of a straight type movement, but a hard slider off of it.
And this is lifted out of play.
Talked about the last 3 innings against the Royals. When you're facing them and they have a lead on you, they're tough to beat. And Wade Davis is one of the reasons why. Davis 74 strikeouts in 48 1/3.
Here's a guy, Mike, that last year made 24 starts. None out of relief. He's found a home.
Well, he was a long-time starter.
He has found a home. Two and two, not a Sandoval. Probably not wise to chase that pitch.
2 years in a row with Tampa Bay that he made 29 starts in each year. And then all of a sudden in 2012, Tampa put him in the bullpen. Kansas City picked him up, put him back in the rotation. And now they've opted to make him a setup man. And boy, has he responded well. His 5th year at the big league level.
Well, Sandoval would probably take a walk here. Giants trail by 2.
Davis, a big guy, 6'5", 230.
Sandoval's got a base hit, and that'll open up the 8th. Morse is 1 for 3. He's got 1 at-bat history against Davis. Davis struck him out.
Now get that batter's box, get as far back as you can, and look for one thing. Look for high heat.
Inside corner strike, and it's 0-1.
Or low heat. But look, heat. Interesting to see Davis as he takes his pitch and how he'll look at the runner first and kind of corkscrew him back up into a set position. Yeah.
In the dirt. Nice play by Perez. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, he's just kind of having fun. It's kind of really. Yep. I mean, you want to go out there and you want to bring a little presence with you, and that's kind of the presence that he has. I don't know if it really affects the guy in the batter's box, but it looks like he's having fun with it. Yep.
And a base hit into center field. Davis looks perplexed, like that usually doesn't happen.
Well, it doesn't.
And Joe Panik is going to hit. So Panik hitting for Arias.
Last 4 games, he has been hot. Really has turned things around with a bat. 9 for his last 18, and he has got just the perfect type of swing to beat a guy with a good fastball. Panik, a very compact approach. Possible bunt situation that Royals will play for it.
And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Although if Bruce Bochy was going to bunt, I have to believe he would have left Arias in the game.
I think you're right. So Sandoval and Morris with base hits here to open up the 8th. And Panik takes low.
And he almost threw that by Perez.
Yes, he did.
Big curveball, and he bounced around at home plate. I'm swinging at that.
Yep.
That has really impressed us on this road trip, though, as to some of the pitches that Panik has taken that haven't been easy, and they've been balls.
Two balls and a strike. Setting up away, and Panik got a pretty good pitch to hit. 2-2.
Well, that's the beauty of being able to throw 98. The target was on the outside corner, and he just blows it right through the inside corner. When you throw that hard, you don't have to have pinpoint control.
Fouled out of play. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Panik trying to keep the line moving. Duffy on deck.
Again, a good take. I don't know how he's doing it.
Wow. So it's 3-2. So Davis has to come in. And now he'll step off. May make everybody think about it a little bit.
He's throwing 2 fastballs by him, and I got to believe that Davis thinks he could do it again. He went below the strike zone a couple times. Nice takes by the Rook, but I think right here in a challenge pitch, he's going to go right at him with number 1. Backyard gas.
Here it comes. Out of play.
But what we've seen for Panik is he does make 2-strike adjustments. Doesn't have a big swing. He is very quick from his load to his release, getting that bat head into the kill position. And it's a swing that's tough to strike out with a fastball.
So another 3-2 pitch. Got him.
Looked like there was a little cut to it, and that's the first time he saw the pitch. And what a 2-strike surprise that Davis saved. Boy, and you always talk about the price of education is painful for young hitters when they don't know a pitcher. And I don't think that Panik even knew that he had that cutter. And to be able to throw it in that spot at 95, good luck with that.
So Ishikawa is not going to run for Morse. And the hitter will be Matt Duffy. Gregor Blanco's grabbed a bat. He's now in the on deck circle. And a double play ball. It'll be Infante to Escobar, and that'll end the inning. So good, and then so fast, the inning's over. It's 4-2 Royals.
That pitch he threw the.
The game, I mentioned Billy Butler in the midst of all the scoring for Kansas City. Homered in the first, a 2-run home run, and then came up with an RBI single in the sixth to break a 2-2 tie. So Billy Butler, our Honda player of the game. A couple of changes for the Giants. We'll have those for you here in a minute. As here's Dyson facing Bumgarner.
A lot of pressure with Dyson at the plate. I mean, a lot of speed. He's a good base stealer. Got to keep him off the bags.
Matt Duffy goes from second to third. Panic goes to second after the pinch hit appearance. And Ishikawa is a pinch runner, now a first baseman. Out of play, it's 1-2. Tap to third. Duffy's going to have to hurry, and they got him. Nice play.
Well, we knew he played a lot of shortstop in the minor leagues, not a lot of second base. I don't know if he's ever played third base, but he makes this play like he's an everyday third baseman. And for a guy with tremendous speed, you have zero chance if it's not perfect. And he comes in across his body, shortstop's arm, and he needed every bit of it. Nice play.
So here's Infante. Talked about Butler being in the middle of everything. So is this guy, and he takes down low. 2 hits tonight, and he scored twice.
He's a good player. There's a lot of things to beat you. Very versatile player as well.
$112 pitches now for Bumgarner as he wants a new baseball. And a belt tie strike to make it 2 balls and 1 strike.
Greg Holland, the closer for the Royals, starting to get greased up. He'll pitch the 9th.
And that's lifted foul. It's 2-2 now to Infante.
Juan Gutierrez, and he's thinking about one guy. He's thinking about Billy Butler. If Bumgarner gets anybody on base, you're going to see Gutierrez, I would imagine.
Tap to Crawford. Crawford will throw on the run. 2 outs. Here's Perez. Perez is 0 for 3 tonight. He's had a couple of good at bats. He's lined out to third. He's lined out to left. And this one's off the backstop. So Bumgarner with pitch number 115 was 93 miles an hour. So that velocity hasn't changed at all.
He's got shoulders built for 140 pitches. I mean, if this was a different era, he'd probably have 16 complete games this year. He probably would average that. Be a 250 to 275 inning a year guy. He's just built for it. And you know what? If it keeps him in the game another 2 or 3 years longer because the pitch count is what it is, I'm all for it.
By the way, the Brewers lead the Dodgers now 6-3. The game is getting late. Rolled foul.
Dodgers got into Milwaukee this morning at 6:30 in the morning, having played their game last night in Anaheim.
You know, I was saying on the radio side, look, nobody's, at least from our standpoint, is feeling sorry for the Dodgers. But that's not right.
It's not right.
I mean, I don't know if anything can be done about it, but you cannot expect the team to play at its best doing that.
Especially this time of year. I mean, these are the dog days when teams are tired. They need the rest. Take away a night's sleep.
Out of play again.
It could affect more than one game.
I'm quite sure that the Dodgers made a request to the Angels to play a day game, but maybe that friendship isn't very good between the Angels and the Dodgers. Or maybe the Angels said, well, why should we? 2-2.
We can only speculate.
Well, the fact is something should be done about it, and maybe that has to come from the Players Association. Full foul again.
Ball dude getting a workout. He's a double ear flap too.
For the Giants in the ninth, they'll have Perez, Crawford, and Pagan. And if you're thinking about getting back in the game, if the bottom of the lineup can set it up for the top of the lineup, that would be a good thing. Another 2-2 pitch. Here it is. And he finally gets Perez on a pitch in the dirt, and that'll end the inning. So it will be the ninth. It will be Holland, and it'll be the Giants trying to tie and then take the lead. It's 4-2 Kansas City. Sportsnet Central tonight after Giants postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet. To hear you. Reaction to this game, Raiders and Vikings highlights, and the Warriors legends, they can get into the Hall of Fame. It's a 4-2 lead for Kansas City. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
A couple of very concerned Giants fans, and here's the reason why. Greg Holland through 45 games, 32 saves on the year, 1-2 with a 1.85 ERA, 65 strikeouts at 43 2/3. Another guy with a great fastball.
And Blanco on the first pitch bounces this one to Infante. One pitch, one out. And that'll bring up Crawford.
For Holland, he gets mid to high 90s with the fastball and a very good slider. Strikeout stuff.
Crawford tonight is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, and here he takes a strike at the knees.
Well, you look at the fastball, you're going to see it 53% of the time at 95.9. That's his average. And there's a lot of sliders. That's his kill pitch. And occasionally he'll mix in a split just to stay in shape.
And it's 0-2.
And that's the slider. The next save that Holland gets will be his 100th in his career. Puts him on he currently ranks 4th on the all-time list with the Royals. Their all-time list.
So that last pitch was at 98. So we've seen quite a trio come in from the 7th inning on. Actually, even Frazier threw pretty hard. The hat trick tonight, 2 outs.
Oh, that's the slider, and it's as good a kill pitch as there is certainly in this division of the American League, maybe all of the American League. It explains the high strikeout to innings pitched. That's nasty.
Here's Pagan. Pagan is 1 for 4. And he takes down low.
It's 10 strikeouts tonight for Royals pitching against the Giants. We've seen some unbelievable stuff.
And Pagan fouls it back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hunter Pence would love to hit if Pagan reaches, and he would represent the tying run. Two balls and 1 strike. Pagan got a base hit off of Herrera in the 7th inning. And he fouls it out of play, so it's now 2-2. And 28,307 here tonight. There are fireworks after the game. Pagan steps out, adjusts his batting gloves. And the 2-2. And Pagan just got a piece.
He will battle you. I don't care what kind of stuff you throw up at him.
And Pagan swings at a pitch in the dirt, and that's the ball game. So game 1 of this 3-game series, it goes to the Royals. And it was a tight game. And once the Royals took the lead in the 6th, then it was going to be tough.
Well, and the Giants going to